Hey everybody in Zentangle world, welcome back to the Inktober Tangles 2022 challenge. We are on day 13 and we are going to learn how to do the tangle and draw the step out and the tangle on our mandala for Philoxy, Teresa Fessier. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, CZT. My name is Yehudit Steinberg. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher and a creator, a content creator of media in the area of art, culture, and creativity. In these videos, we have two parts. Part one is the step out, and we are learning how to draw step outs, which is a Zentangle practice. Each one of our patterns are designed with simplicity in mind, using the five elemental strokes of the ICSO motto. So today we are going to start with drawing the step out. If you are new to this video and this challenge, it's not too late. You can always start. We have some gals that are starting in November using the 31 days and creating the step outs and the mandala. So it really doesn't matter if you didn't start on October 1st. I've created a beginner's guide and have daily email prompts every time I put a new video up here on the YouTube channel. And by the end of the 31 days in Inktober Tangles, you will have one email with links to all of the patterns that we have learned during Inktober 2022, and it'll be in one email, links to all of them. So the link to opt in and get your beginner's guide and get on the email to the step outs and the mandala as it's in process is in the description below. Here is a template that's in the beginner's guide that you can use to create the step outs. There are no more than 6 steps in a pattern, so we have 6 squares here. Again, let's get started. Philoxy, this is a version of the pattern we're going to learn. And this is the step out. Now let's get over to the to my studio, and while we're going over there, we I want to remind you these are the tools we are using today. We're using an 01, a micron, or I'm using a Statler because I'm a little heavy-handed. We're using a red, or I have a pink, hot pink marker to mark the first steps in our step out, and a PN for a little thicker lines. And when I tend to use ink and a graphite, any pencil will do, and a blending tool. This is the mandala, you are looking at the mandala template that is also in the beginner's guide. And we are on day 13, so we left off on day 12, and we are working. So we today's 13, 14, and then 15. and that will will almost be halfway through the challenge. So before we get started, the step, I want to show you the basic lines in Zentangle. We call it ICSO. If you can write ICSO, there's a real good chance that you can learn the patterns because of the way they are designed in makeup, and we call it a step out. And each step, if you do each step, by the end of the step, you have the pattern. And we use simple elemental lines: straight, C shape, S shape, circles and orbs, and dots. So I am using a 4x6 card and creating a catalog in an index box, so that when I want to be portable as well, it's also organized, but when I want to be portable and just grab a few tools and head on out, I can grab my box of step outs, and I have all that with me, and I don't need to use my phone. I can take some real nature time, and it takes very little tools, and it's very portable and very affordable. So let's get started with Philoxy. It's a blossom tangle, and it's also it's a fun tangle. There are a couple of points. I had to practice it a little bit, but there's a couple of points that I want to mention as we're drawing it, that you may not see if you don't have a guide. So what I do to get started with my step out is I have a stencil, and these stencils were made specifically for Zentangle step outs. And I'm updating my materials and supply list that you get in the beginner's guide. I'll link to it, and I will have this stencils where you can get them as well if you're interested. So there we go. Now, well, I'm going to point to it when I get to the to it in our drawing, because there is one tricky part that I found a little bit confusing when I was just looking at step out. So anyway, we're going to start with a dot in the center, and we're going to create a couple of curvy lines here. Didn't get to be too curvy, but there are no mistakes in Zentangle, so we will deal with that when we get there. Now I turn my pattern to keep my hand in the same position to be comfortable and to draw the lines that I'm drawing. Okay, that's step one. Now, we're going to draw that again in the next box. Some of you may be wondering, why am I taking the time to teach you how to draw these step outs? And it seems a bit, sometimes the videos get a little bit longer than if I didn't redraw this, but I'm going to tell you about step outs, at least for me. Step outs, I know how to recreate the pattern. And believe you me, after doing this 3 years every day and trying new patterns, I have a lot of patterns that I have to look up. I have to go on my phone. I have to go in a book. And if you make your own step outs, you have all that information there. If you, so the next step is that we're going to do a C shape on one of these spokes to the center dot. And then we're going to echo once and twice. Now, a trick here too is that we want this to be long enough so you have a stem there. So this is step 2. Now we're going to go on to step 3. The other thing that I find that's really a great advantage to taking the time to doing this is that you really learn about the pattern, you learn about each line. It makes it so much easier to draw the pattern by the time you are by the I think okay maybe it was over here. There's 5 of those. Well, we'll see how it comes together. Okay. So now what we're going to do is this is the new line. So watch really carefully. This is the trick. We're going to we're going to draw another petal. We're going to come from the center. We're going to give ourselves a nice juicy little petal C curve there. And we want it to actually, it's important that it touches up here. Okay, it's going to touch that line. And then we're going to land over here in the middle of that petal. And we're going to come back. I'm going to give it. So what we've done is this is like a hole here. So then we're going to come and we're going to come around and connect. Now I have a lot of space on this one that I don't normally have, but we're playing, so we're going to see what happens. And this petal came here. Now we're going to jump as if this was the line, and then we put our pen down, and then we get a line there. So that this is actually another petal here. So let's move on to number 4 and draw that in. Going nice and slow, taking your time, doing some breathing. Now we're going to start putting our petals in. And I'm recording. I am recording. Yeah. You know, I don't have like a private room where I have doors and stuff. So it does happen that family life happens. And so now I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go from here to the center. And I'm going to bring it down up here. I'm going to let you watch me, and I'm going to mute for a little bit until the background settles down. So I'm making this a little bit longer so we can get that swing over the other petals, the see-through look. Okay. Well, it's looking a little teeny bit sloppy. Okay. Okay. We're going to leave that there, and we're going to go on to the next one. And I'm going to draw it a little bit smaller. So I can fit it all in. I kind of misaligned on that one. There's one. Here's 2. Here's 3. No, that's 4. And here's 5. So now we're going to do the whole pattern. I'm going to bring this guy up. And then we're going to give it an arch over here. And then, so we make that ribbon, like a ribbon here. And then there's 1, 2. Now, and then we'll bring it around here. And 3. Now we'll take this guy, bring it to the center, bring it the line over, give it, let me see the ribbon. This last one, we're going to bring the line up there. We're going to turn it all the way around. And I think the shading or color differentiation can really show the ribbon. But that is how you draw the pattern. So let's go over to the mandala. So gather the mandala or whatever you've been drawing your pattern every day. And here's how our mandala is starting to look. I'm going to grab mine. And I would also have this particular tile if you're a beginner, and I know this is a beginner focused channel, but some of these Inktober patterns are not necessarily beginners, so don't feel like you're falling behind or frustrated. They need practice, and I've been practicing this one, and I'm still having a little bit of it's still giving me a little run for my money. So, and this is the first time I've done this pattern, and I've practiced it a number of times before I've done this video and looked at a number of other artists and what they're doing, and also some step outs. So I do recommend that to you as well. So let's jump into the studio and see where we're going to put it on the where are we going to put it on the mandala. I've been I drew the first week over here, and now we're doing the second week here. And so I have today's 13. So I'm either going to put it in this box or in this box. And I think I'm going to try here because it's a little bit broader, and it is it's a wide little tangle. I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to start sometimes when I'm not quite sure how things are going, and I know that there are no mistakes in Zentangle, but if I'm doing a video, I'm looking for my pencil, which doesn't seem to be showing up for me. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I love this pencil. This is a there you go. Pentel. It's just it's weighted so wonderfully. Okay, so we start with our spiral of 5. So I like drawing this in pencil because it's kind of like a grid in case I need to adjust it as I start taking to the pen. So let's give this a try. Now see, I have this leg standing up here. I'm gonna arch it. Oh, I'm going to create another petal, and then I'm going to take this over to the second petal here. And then I'm going to give, this is like a ribbon. I'm going to give it, that's the ribbon, how we make the ribbon there. We're going to go here. It's gonna get a little bit over the hump there. So no worries, I'll do something with that line when it comes time to fill it in. It's really a pretty tangle. You know, in the beginning stages of laying out the pattern, sometimes we tend to get discouraged, say, oh, you know, but Zentangle says, keep going. There are no mistakes. And it'll work out. So now, yeah. So now I have the basic pattern in. And how am I going? So one of the ways I did see this emphasized is to draw you know, tipple on the ribbons. So I think I'm going to do that again because it helps to differentiate the that from the block, you know, from the other part of the pattern. So I'm going to put them in. I'm also going to give a little bit of a dot in the center. And I'm going to come and actually draw these and see if that helps. So I feel like it's a little confusing in there. And here we go. And maybe it'll cover up some of my messy lines. Now, I'm not striving for perfection. I'm striving to enjoy myself, to get a sense of this pattern, and to relax. I'm trying to figure this guy out. I think yeah. So in here, I'm going to do something different here. I'm just going to give it a back. We'll see how that goes. And to kind of soften that black, I'm going to give it some gold. And I'm going to pop a few golds in here. Just sporadic. go. Now, you might want to come in with, colored pencils, depending on what you are working with. I'm going to give it. I'm going to give these a little gold. When you're working with the pencils, graphites and pencils, you want them to be sharp. This is semi-sharp. Okay. And then I'm going to do a little bit of shading around the center. And anywhere that there's a ribbon up here, this is going to be a little shaded. This is a ribbon, so I'm going to shade these a little bit. There we go. Okay. And my blending. Now I'll probably go back after a bit and clean this up a little bit. And I will have the finished mandala on my blog, and I'll leave that in that link. It's in the descriptions below, as well as the sign up for the beginner's guide. And if you did opt in, I will send all those links to you so that you have them. But let's back out a little bit and see what we have. We have now completed day 13. I'll be doing something in the backgrounds here and also with this one as well. But we're going to now move on. And I hope that you enjoyed watching and drawing with me. Next video up is slide hat. I really like this tangle. It's a lot of fun and it's really pretty darn easy. If you want to get your beginner's guide with the daily email prompts and the invitation to the live Zoom with everybody that was participating, the link is in the description. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell if you'd like to stay connected to Zen and Creativity channel. See you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching. This is Yehudit Steinberg, certified Zentangle instructor, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.